everybody, it's Christina again with Garden Crush, and I want to talk about one of my new favorite plants, I will say, is the hydrangea. Now I grew up in Texas and hydrangeas don't do great down there in the Houston area, so coming to Kansas City, it's a new thing that I've fallen in love with. So I wanted to talk about a few things about hydrangeas, why I like them, and a few care tips. So first thing about hydrangeas is they like moist, well-drained soil. Better to keep them moist even to let them dry out. And the thing that I like most about hydrangeas is that they provide color in the summer when everything else is done blooming. We have, a handful of things that are blooming in the summer, but hydrangeas are the standard for summer, and they provide these gorgeous, huge, beautiful blooms. Oftentimes they'll change colors throughout the season as the summer goes on. Now this variety right here is called Blushing Bride, and I love it. It starts off as this white color right here, then it turns to a deep pink, and then a gold in the fall. It's gorgeous. So when I cut the blooms, at the beginning of the summer I have white blooms in my house of cut flowers, then I get pink ones, and then turning into this gold color. It's just super cool. Okay, so with hydrangeas, one thing that's neat about them is they will actually tell you when they need water. With a lot of plants, you have to dig your fingers into the soil to see if it's moist or dry. With hydrangeas, they tell you by the foliage weeping. As the foliage starts to weep and droop, then I know it's time to water. And after watering, within an hour, I can come back out here and see that the foliage is propped up and perky again and no longer droopy. So I love that they talk to me, they tell me when they need water, I don't have to guess, and I don't have to dig my fingers in the soil. So these are starting to droop. I can tell they were drooping even this morning. Like if you see this one right here, that's definitely a sign that it needs to be watered. These over here, sign that they need to be watered. So I'm gonna go ahead and water them. After that, I'm gonna come back in about an hour. You're gonna see that they're no longer droopy. All right, when I water, what I like to do is water down by the roots rather than at the top. So I'm not getting the foliage wet necessarily, and I'm not getting the blooms wet, but I'm watering down to the roots. And what I like to do is I like to imagine how deep the roots are going down. Now these plants right here are probably about 2 to 3 years old. So they're not actually fully established yet. That's why I have to be really on top of watering. Once they're established more, I won't have to water quite as much, number one. And then number two, because they're on the north side of the house, they don't get a lot of sun. So that helps me prevent, I don't have to water quite as much. If they were in the sun, I would have to water probably daily right now until they get fully established. And even after they get established, I would still have to water them a lot. So again, I'm imagining how deep these roots go down in, and that's how much water that I'm gonna put on them. So I will come back in an hour and show you what they look like when they're not droopy anymore. Okay, it's been an hour. We've come back to our hydrangeas, and take a look at them now. You don't see any droopy foliage. It's all perky and happy and full of life. And that's what I love about hydrangeas, again, is that they tell you when they want water, and then they perk right up again when they're happy once they're watered. So now that they're well watered, what I'm gonna do, which is the beautiful thing about hydrangeas, is I'm gonna cut one and I'm gonna bring it inside. What I like to do when I'm cutting plants to bring inside is I like to have a bowl of cool water on hand, a bowl or a vase of cool water on hand, so that the cutting can go right into the vase right away and have water. So that's what I'm gonna do. And the way I wanna cut it is I wanna decide how long I want my stem. Because I have a nice short vase, I don't need a long stem. So I wanna cut right above the next set of leaves, right there. So that's what I'm gonna do. Cut right above this set of leaves, and I'm gonna go in at an angle, like a 45-degree angle, that will give the most water possible. And then I'm just gonna set it right in my vase. Oftentimes I will even cut the leaves off, which will provide more energy to the rest of the flower itself. I'm not going to do that right now, but I'm going to carry this in and I'm going to put it in a nice sunny spot in my kitchen.